I rise today a bit angry about this bill, cooked up in back rooms, dropped at midnight, cloaked in fake numbers, with huge handouts to big Republican donors. When I first got here, this chamber filled me with awe and wonderment. Today, I feel disgust. This piece of legislation is corrupt, crooked. This place feels to me today like a crime scene. Get some of that yellow tape and put it around this chamber. Most families have someone sit down once a month and go through the bills, and you try to figure out what bills you can pay. You may not pay your whole credit card bill. You may just pay the minimum. You're aware of exactly how much money you have. Billionaire world is different. You have a family office. You never see bills. You don't even know how much money you have because you got more than you could ever spend in your life. You could pay taxes like regular people. But there's something about your acquisition of wealth that can't stop. You demand special treatment. You pay less of a tax rate than a firefighter, for God's sake. And that's not enough for you. Now you come here to this Senate floor wanting even more. You already don't know how much money you have. You could pay regular taxes and it wouldn't take a day from sunning on your private island, a day from cruising in your private yacht, a jet trip on your private jet, a ski trip to your private chalet. Nothing in your life would change if you had to pay taxes like a regular person, but you just don't want to. This bill gives big tax breaks to big corporations that move jobs and investment offshore away from America. It gives tax breaks for doing that. It gives tax breaks for offshoring American jobs and offshoring American investment. It takes an already corrupted tax code and bends it even further in the favor of mega billionaires and big offshoring corporations. It raises your costs to raise their profits. The people behind this bill are counting on you not to know how that works. So when you see the fossil fuel industry come here and take this shot at its clean energy competition in this bill, that's how this bill robs you. It puts you back onto the fossil fuel side of that curve, not onto the clean energy added part of the curve, which lowers prices so dramatically. And by the way, while the fossil fuel polluters are out trying to damage their competition using the power of government and the influence of their dark money operation to do so, they're also damaging America's competitiveness against China. China's already putting 25 times the solar that we are putting onto their grid. That gives them huge advantages as they construct solar panels, design solar technologies, and offer that to the rest of the world. We're in a world market, just like we're in a world market for electric vehicles. And the fossil fuel industry's desire to destroy the American solar market and to destroy the American electric vehicle market is about as unpatriotic as you can get, because it is taking these two technologies and saying, go for it, China, we're out. We're out. Have the entire international market for solar and for energy. We're not going to compete. We're going to load up our people with new taxes. We're going to tear away the subsidies. And by the way, the fossil fuel industry that's telling you this, they're the recipients of the biggest subsidy in world history. They get $700 billion a year in the United States alone from being allowed to pollute for free. It violates market economics to pollute for free. Milton Friedman, the most conservative economist, will tell you it's not proper market theory. When somebody's polluting for free, the cost of the pollution should be in the price of the product. $700 billion every single year to compete unfairly against clean energy, and on top of that, they want to rip away the investments that have been made, and they want to put a new tax on clean energy, and they want to drive consumer prices back up to their fossil fuel model. There's some really big losers in this big loser of a bill. Anybody who cares about adding $5 trillion to our national debt, that's a big loss. Creepy billionaires who can't even count their wealth, but for some reason insist on coming to Congress and just seizing even more, looting the public trough. And guess what? The creepy billionaires, the offshoring corporations, and the fossil fuel polluters, what do they have in common? Huge donors to the Republican Party. That's what this bill is about. It's not about taking care of the economy. It's not about taking care of the public. It's payback to big special interests and billionaires who provide the dark money funding that floats the Republican Party, and now they're demanding payback for the majorities that they bought. There is a wasp, Mr. President, that lays its larvae inside another bug. And the larvae of the wasp inside that other bug are able to take over the nervous system of that other bug. And they start driving the bug around from the inside. They make it do what the larvae wants it to do. Those creepy billionaires, those fossil fuel polluters, those big offshoring corporations have taken over the command and control system of the Republican Party, marched around by those special interests doing exactly what it's told. Doesn't care about the increased cost, doesn't care about the unfairness, doesn't care about making the tax code more corrupt, because the special interests are in that bug running that show. I yield the floor.